Previously, I showed you how this smart roller shade was pretty dumb. It relies on a smartphone app or a non-standard Bluetooth remote. And that's pretty annoying because it does not integrate with any open standards. It does not work with my Home Assistant setup. Today, we're going to make the remote smart, or at least work with my Home Assistant hub. First, you have to sacrifice the remote. Opening this remote is relatively easy. There was one Phillips screw, one tiny Phillips screw, holding this battery cover. Take the screw out and remove the cover. You'll see the battery. Pop the battery out, split the front and the back cover using a prying tool. This prying tool is from a kit. Pry the covers from the side and they will pop out. The board is really interesting. The buttons are not momentary. These switches are super flat. They don't protrude out. That's how the remote is super slim. If you peel the sticker holding the buttons, holding the switches in place, you'll see how the remote works. It's a metal button connecting the two black carbon traces here and here. We need to connect two wires in from here to here if we want to connect the two pins to activate the button via a relay for the heart button. I'm not going to peel them out now just because I have all of my additional wires in place already. My wires are DuPont connectors, and instead of going straight into the terminals, the DuPont contacts are bent like so. They are bent and hold in place with hot glue. The white goo are dried hot glue. I know it's not nice and pretty, but they work. The reason why I'm using 90 degrees angle in and hot glue is because we cannot solder into carbon traces. That's why my metal contacts are being pressed up against the carbon traces very tightly. On the other side, you can see the carbon traces with these black circular spots. I don't know if you can see my DuPont connectors coming through. They are flushed just because I trimmed the longer metal pins. I did not want them to stick out too much. Here's one of my DuPont terminal and another one right there. Additionally, I also soldered in two wires because I don't want to use batteries. I'm just going to power them off of the ESP32. On this side, with the green wire, is the negative. Meanwhile, the orange side is the positive 3.3 volts to power up this whole remote. Let's take a closer look with the wiring diagram. The arrangement of the circuit board is a little bit tricky. I really don't want to use relays as seen in the previous video. Then again, I still want to make it small. Luckily, optocoupler is the way to go. Since we only care about 3 buttons, up, down, pause, we need to use 3 optocouplers as seen here. If you remember from the previous video, optocouplers are amazingly good, and they work similarly to relays, at least for our purpose in this video. Here's the ESP32C3. It is super small. All of the ground, or in this case labeled cathode, will be going to ground of the C3. As soon as the ESP provides power to this optocoupler, then the 2 circuits, then the 2 pins short, meaning they are connected. When any 2 pins connect, they simulate the button pressed. I know that this whole schematic can be intimidating, and don't worry, I'll share the link. That way you can trace the wire much easier. By the way, if this video is helpful, please consider subscribing and liking the video. This lets YouTube know my video is indeed helpful and will recommend to others like yourself. Most of the time, we only care about up and down, but I also wanted to add the pause button. We know how fast the roll shade moves, how much inches it moves per second. We're using this pause feature to know to calculate. For instance, I don't want to cover it all the way. I want to cover up only 25%, 50%, or 75%. Knowing how many seconds pass, we can certainly calculate the distance and hence the percentage of coverage. Ultimately, this is what my setup looks like. I know it's not nice and pretty, and that's because we're just setting it up as a prototype to make sure that everything is working fine. All of this will be contained in a box behind a shelf, so nobody can see it or nobody will ever see it. The remote is RF. There's no need for line for sight like a normal TV remote. You can hide within 30 feet. Once you have all of the wiring done, it's time to go into Home Assistant and add the remote in. I'm not going to cover the code just because we've covered this in previous videos. The top 25 rows are pretty much standard. Rows 28 through 85 is where we define all of the buttons and switches. Don't worry about pausing the video. I'll share the code in the video description below for you to just copy and paste. Once this YAML code is compiled and added into your Home Assistant, this is what it will look like. Here are all the buttons for you to press. All of this can be automated. When the sun rises, go ahead and open up the shades. When the sun goes down, automate the shades to go down. Before I end the video though, let me show you the final results. I trimmed some of the wirings, tucked some beneath the remote to make it look nice and pretty, but it really doesn't make sense to have this ESP32 chip controls just one device. That's why I added this IR remote transmitter right there. It controls one of my TV to make it smart. You can see how that's done in this previous video. I guess you can add at least one more device too if you need a temperature/humidity sensor. But for now, I think 2 devices on one chip is more than good enough. Alright, hopefully you found this video helpful. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and thanks for watching.